Hi, hi. Hi, Dorsey Joe. Hi, Lou. Hi, Awe Roken. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Hi, hi. Hi, Nicole. How's it? We've got an exciting evening up ahead, but let's give a minute for the people to join us a little more. Some of our girlfriends. Drop a hello in the comment section. Let's chat. Ah, thank you. Hi, Oratile. Hello. Hi, hi. How am I doing? I'm good, thank you. Thanks for asking. I'm doing well. How are you doing? Awesome. Okay, how's it, everyone? My name is Qaqamba, or you can call me Q, if that is a little bit of a tongue twister over there. I am your host for this evening's Kinky Root Conversations. We have got two amazing girlfriends joining us this evening. One of them is already in the comment section saying hey to everyone. So today we're going to be talking about the big chop, about transitioning into natural hair and what that means. Do we feel confident? Do we feel beautiful when we do the big chop? So today's conversation is going to be quite interesting. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Please comment in the comment section at the bottom what you guys think about the questions we're about to ask. And maybe next time you'll join us right over here on the Kinky Roots conversation live on Kinky Roots Africa. If you would like to join the conversations in future, we have got an amazing community over on Facebook, so you can join our Facebook group, the Kinky Roots Collective. You'll find us over there having chats, having kikis, spilling tea on all things natural hair and natural hair community for Africans by Africans. So this evening we've got some exciting and amazing stuff we're going to be chatting about. We're chatting about transitioning, we're chatting about short natural hair, what it means. Do we feel confident when we have short natural hair? What do you guys think about that? Should you do the big chop in one solid go? Did you guys transition into natural hair? Please let me know in the comment section below. If you see a comment that you don't agree with, it's a different opinion to yours, that's okay. You can scroll on by. Let's keep it friendly. We're all girlfriends at the end of the day, and we're all here to conversate, to learn, and to grow together. So I'm going to welcome up our first girlfriend, Sipe. Hey, Miss Sipe. Or Siphelele.
Hi.
Exact. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm so excited to get into the tea. We're
Yes,
gonna
Mama.
get into it. I'm excited. Hi everyone.
And I thought you were quite interesting because you have got dreadlocks.
Yes,
How long have
I
you had
do.
yours for?
About 4 years now. I
Mhm.
transitioned into locks from natural hair because I was like figuring out what I wanted to do. I was one
Yeah.
of the relaxed babies. I was relaxed from primary school to high
Yeah.
school. I did the whole braids thing, and then I was like, I'm over this. I want to like feel what my hair feels like on my head. So I transitioned
Yeah.
into natural hair, and then I did the big chop when I was like in grade like 11, when I was like 17, and that in itself was like a whew. And then I was natural
Yeah.
for a few years, and then I did locks, and I never looked back.
Yes, Ma. I'm glad that you say you never look back, that you kind of, well, you didn't leap into it. It was a bit of a transition in your
Yeah.
own way. So how have you found that journey? How have you found your identity, your voice, your personality within the natural hair space and going into dreadlocks?
Well, I think what happens with a lot of Black girls who decide, look, I just want to have my hair natural. I don't want to put anything in my hair. I just want to figure it out. Is that it's immediately taken as like a political statement. Like she's now a child of the soil. You know, she's going back to her roots.
But yeah, please.
You know, and I'm just like, no, it's not a political statement. It's my hair. You know, it's just my hair, and I want to be able to make that decision for myself. Because a lot of the time, like our parents relax our hair because it's like what everyone does at that, like back then at least. So I did that, and everyone was like, "Oh, she's, you know, radicalizing in a sense," and I was like, "Okay, interesting." Especially like in high school, you know, when everyone has an opinion on what you look like and what you do, and I think that's the biggest part of like the big chop. Everyone all of a sudden has an opinion on what you look like. Like before, when you just like did what everyone else was doing, it was very much okay, cool, whatever. But then when you're like, I just want to do what feels good for me, it's like, oh, what are you saying? Like you're just you know, Amandla. You know? I was like,
Amandla, yes, absolutely.
You know? So that transition was interesting. But I think once I found my feet with like when my hair wasn't locked and I had it like natural, it felt good. But I also was just like, I personally don't have like the capacity every day to be like twisting, and not that it's out of it's impossible, but like I was just like, I don't have energy for this. I want something that feels more me and feels easier for me. So I decided to go with locks, and no one in my family is locked. So they were just like, okay, like do what you want to do, you know, but I didn't have anyone to be like, oh, this is what it's like. So it was quite a transition to get there. And then once I got there, I was like, this is me. Like, it's like a big sigh of relief. I was like, this feels right. Like, it feels so right. And my hair has never been healthier. It's never felt more just at home than when I figured out, like, it's not what about the message my hair is sending. It's not about anyone else's opinion. It's about what feels good. And that's what I did. And I urge everyone to go through some sort of transition like that at any point in their lives. It feels very good.
And what has been your sentiment and relationship with having shorter hair? So when you went into locks, you mentioned that you had some natural hair beforehand. So did you start off with shorter locks and then it grew out over the years and time? Or was it a bit of like well, I've got some natural hair, so you had a bit of length on you already? And was that a conscious decision, or was it like I happen to be here, so I'm going to do this?
Yeah, so my like transition from like relaxed hair into natural hair was I had stopped relaxing my hair for maybe a few months just to have some like natural growth, and then I cut the relaxed ends off. So I had like a little, you know, the real afro going on. It was very like tight. It was dense. I have like some hectic 4C hair. Like I have the sponge. I have the steel wool. Like it is dense 4C hair. So that short version, I was like, okay, this is what my hair feels like. Cool, happy with this. It's healthy. That was the main goal. Like I want it to be healthy and I want it to be mine. And then having short hair, it was very much like, who am I? Like, who is this girl? Like, do I feel pretty like I did before? No one around me has really short hair. Everyone's like the girls that did have like natural hair, it was all like long and big and like the volume was there. And I was like, I feel like a little boy low key. And I feel like everyone goes through that transition where you're like, am I pretty? Like, do I feel feminine? Like, you know? And I think that forces you to feel like, okay, like if you can't hide behind your hair, like if you can't hide behind braids, or you know, you're not giving like super long hair, what makes you feel good and what makes you feel pretty versus like what makes you feel validated when people tell you, oh, you have such beautiful hair, or like, oh, your jeans are so good. So that just forced me to just be like, you are gorgeous, feel that gorgeousness, and like hair is an extension of you. It's not you, you know. You don't need other people to tell you like, oh, I wish I had your hair, or like, you know. I think it forces you to look within for that kind of validation, which was, I think, very necessary at that age when I was like 17, leaving high school, which I think was really good for me, because now like I will shave my head tomorrow, you know. Like I don't really attach my sense of, well, my version of femininity or feeling beautiful to like what my hair looks like, you know.
Yes. I want to dig a little deeper into that attachment to or disattachment in your case to having short hair. Before we welcome up our next girlfriend, I just wanted to quickly ask you, are you happy with your transition story? Do you regret anything, or are there no regrets? That was your story and you're happy with that chapter and how it unfolded for you?
I think I regret not doing it earlier, if anything. I think if I just let go of like needing but it's also hard to say, like when you're in high school, like validation is your whole world. Like you want to be told, like you're pretty, you've got this going for you, you're doing it right. So I think if earlier had just been like I don't feel like my hair represents what I want to look like, let me just cut it off and start again. Like it's not, it's not like a ligament that I need. Like just it'll grow back. So if anything, I would have done it earlier. And then maybe after high school, I would have, felt more myself. Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, lovely. Thank you so much for sharing.
Hello.
You're welcome.
So, hi, Lumka. Welcome up, girlfriend.
Hello.
Welcome to the Kinky Roots conversation. If there are people who are joining us just now, we are the Kinky Roots Africa community, and today we're going to be chatting about all things short hair, transitioning from into your natural hair journey, and the kind of sentiment and relationship that we Africans have with short hair. Do we feel confident in it? Do we feel beautiful in it? We've asked a few community members the question, but we'd also love to share with Lumka and understand some of her relationship and her natural hair journey. So the first question is, what's your transition story? What was your transition story into going into natural hair?
So my transition story is always like when I'm stressed. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Okay, yeah. So with me, like when I'm stressed, the first thing that I think about doing anything to is my hair. So I just woke up one day. I had been thinking about it, but I woke up one day. I was like, it's something that I'm gonna do today, and I went to the salon and cut my hair off. So the thing is, I didn't even cut it in like a nice shape or, like how people style like short hair. It was literally like just short, nothing like, yeah. So, I stayed with it for a bit. But like going back to kind of like what the other friend was saying, I like once I cut my hair, I started seeing myself. Like, like look in the mirror, I'm like, wow, you are like pretty. Like I think I had to like remove the hair to kind of like have this conversation with myself and start like seeing myself for like who I am or like what I am or like just how my beauty is. So yeah, I think I kind of needed that whole transition because I just like started seeing myself like differently.
And how have you found your natural hair journey thus far? What's your natural hair journey been like since you transitioned? And what has your hair growth story been like since then?
So it's been fun, but I've had like ups and downs. I think year 3, 4 for me were like very hard. Like it was to a point where I literally made an appointment with someone. I was like, I'm cutting my hair. I had a date down. I was like, that date is when I'm gonna cut my hair. My hair was dry for some reason. Like I don't know, whatever I was going through then, like it was just not communicating from like I think the products that I was using to the environmental stuff that was happening. So my hair was just not happy at all. So I was just like, I'm ready to let it go.
Yeah.
But I think I persevered. I like once I've got through that hump, I then had like this conversation with myself. I'm like, okay, I need to stop taking it too seriously.
Yes.
Like I need to enjoy it. I need to enjoy the process of like taking care of my hair. And yeah, like now, I think now my hair has really like been prospering. I've kind of just been noticing the TLC, also kind of like the conversation I have about my hair, like in my mind, like has also just improved because it used to be very like negative. But the funny thing is like, I mean, I made the choice to become natural. I could always like cut it off. So I don't know why I was kind of having like this battle with it. But yeah, I think once I went through, like, I went over that hump, just started like kind of reconditioning the way I think about my hair. Yeah, I started enjoying it.
I mean, there is that mentality and sentiment within the community that at least I've picked up that, you know, the longer your natural hair is, then the more you're flourishing within the natural hair community, the more that your hair is flourishing, it means that your hair is healthier if your hair is longer, which isn't always the case, that you can have short, beautiful, healthy, strong hair.
Yeah.
Or you just decide that you like a specific style, from pixie cuts to even a buzz cut. If
Yeah.
that's a style that you're like, this is my fighter, I'm going to stick to the style to the T because I feel it encapsulates me and how I want to present myself to the world. But you
Yeah.
raised a very interesting topic that you know, the relationship that we begin to have with short hair and how it affects us from an
Yeah, I think
emotional standpoint.
yeah, I think it also yeah, I think it goes to kind of like representation where, you know, it's I think the shorter lengths are not as celebrated like in
As
the
it is.
advertisements that we now have. I mean, we wanted to be seen, and then now we are being seen, but a specific length is now being like seen as like better.
Yeah.
Because I would have like, for me, the conversation is weird if someone is like, your hair is so beautiful or whatever. I wish my hair was like yours. I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, thank you, but like,
Yes.
it will like it won't be like yours. I mean, maybe they're saying it
Yeah.
trying to be nice, but for me, it's just like it's cringy because they do then go back to kind of making it seem like their hair is not good enough the
Yeah.
way it is. So I'm like, okay, yeah, that's I don't know. It's not a good kind of thing for you to say wishing your hair was like mine. So I think representation definitely like is needed where like every length is seen as like dreadlocks are natural, you know, shorter lengths are natural, longer lengths are natural. Because I've like watched a lot of like, you know, American bloggers and you see like the lengths
Yeah.
that they have. I'm like, I honestly don't want that length. I
The
don't want that
straights,
length.
the work
No, I'm like,
fakes.
I've had to have the conversation with myself and like that length is not for me. Like I don't like when I look at how long it takes for them to care for their hair, I'm like honestly like
Now
no,
every Sunday,
I'm
we're
good.
waking up at 5 a.m.
The
to
hours you
start
need to put
making
in.
Healthcare
Oh
Sunday.
my
I'm due. I
goodness.
am
Yeah,
not
no,
coming in.
definitely not
For
for
those who
me.
don't speak Xhosa, like I enter nowhere.
Yeah, no, that's not for me. I'm with you there.
Yes.
It's definitely not for me.
So if you're
Yeah.
joining us right now, welcome guys. This is the Kinky Roots Conversations. We're here joined by Sipe as well as Lumka, and we're chatting about short natural hair. This is a conversation that started over on our Facebook group, the Kinky Roots Collective, by one of our girlfriends, Nonkululeko. And she had asked the question, do you ever think about doing the big chop and starting from scratch with your hair? And if you have done it, what was your experience like? And did you feel you made the right decision or regretted it? So if you've got any thoughts on that, please chime off in the comment section. We're sharing your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you. So please let us know what you guys think about that. Did you do a clean sweep, big chop, or was it a transition story? Did you wait a couple of months to let your natural hair grow a bit and then you cut your hair? Are you thinking about cutting your hair? We also would love to hear if you are kind of wondering whether you should go natural or what your thoughts are around that. We see you out there. Hi, ones. Hi, Robin. Hi. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. Sheer appreciation. Hey, Queen. Hey,
Oh my gosh,
Ente.
am I gonna go viral after
Ooh.
this?
Yes. We're going to be Doja Cat out here.
You know?
Oh goodness, thank you guys so much for joining these Kinky Roots conversations. Let us know in the comments what you think about this conversation piece over on our Facebook group and community. We've had a few community members from Chi who had said, I transitioned, I was not ready to chop off all my hair. So you do get the people who decide that they want to transition into natural hair rather than going clean sweep, and that's good. We celebrate you. We see you, queen. We had Nolwazi saying, I regret. I will never cut my hair again. I literally look like a boy. I must depend on makeup. Thank God my hair is regrowing again. I can never advise anyone to cut their hair. Besides, my hair grows slowly. So I'd love to touch on the conversation of slow growing hair. Has it been your lady's experience? Does your hair grow slower, or does your hair grow a little faster than quote unquote the average community members? Maybe Sipe, would you like to go first, Ma?
Sure. In terms of like the rate at which your hair is growing, I think a lot, I'm not an expert, but I think a lot of that has to do with your genetics, right? You can't really dictate if your hair is going to grow faster or slower. Obviously, there are things you can do, like if your hair is healthier and happier, it'll probably grow a bit better than if, you know, you're struggling with a few things. But in my situation, I think I just won genetically. Like my mother, her entire life had really thick, long, natural hair. Still to this day, she has a really big afro. And, you know, if the hair only grows up top, it doesn't only grow there. It grows everywhere. So long hair is a blessing and a curse, okay?
Yes.
But yeah, it's genetic. But I also think it's not a race, you know? I think the more important thing than faster growing hair is that while your hair is growing, it's healthy hair. So like your hair is not breaking off at the root, or your hair is not thinning, or it's, you know, it's wispy. You want your hair to be whatever version of healthy yours looks like. So I know that healthy hair for me is really coily, like 4C hair. Like I know if my coils are tight, that's healthy hair for me. My hair is naturally on the drier side, but that doesn't like make me freak out because I know that's just how my genetics are set up. So I think once you do the big chop, you get to like toil with that kind of stuff. You get to see what your hair looks like when it grows out of the root, and how you can like use products that'll help that natural, you know, growth pattern, versus you saying, okay, I've seen people use these products and their hair is super long, so it must be that. A lot of the time it's genetic. So I think the big chop is really great for learning what works for your hair and what your hair looks like when it's happy and when it's healthy. And it's super specific to each person.
That's very interesting, the topic of genetics, because I think we sometimes look, at least, okay, let me not throw everyone under the bus. Let me speak about me. When I went natural, I was seeing a lot of the gorgeous, you Nigerian girlfriends, your hair, my words, fire, 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 absolutely obsessed. And I love the curl pattern. I was like, yes, me too. I'm going to be out here looking like Jackie Aina with the beautiful curls, and just like,
Exactly.
oh,
Those like
and then I'm just gonna be like
bouncy.
whipping my hair. Ah, so many amazing, amazing, amazing content creators from Nigeria who've got really long hair. And then when I cut my hair, that was not my reality. And then I was like, okay, cool, let me try to use the products and the ingredients that they use, because then my hair is gonna look exactly like this.
Exactly. And then you feel like you're doing something wrong.
You see? Next thing, jiki, my hair is still within 4C. Within, like, it was like,
You got steel wool that just won't let.
So, like, really knowing your genetics and appreciating your history, I think for me, in my natural hair journey, it actually got me to appreciate and understand more of my heritage, where I came from, my family, the people that I come from, and that our hair was never like that. Our hair will never be like that, and that's beautiful, and that's okay. It gives us a diverse people and community to chat to. So one of our girlfriends, Shame, she's dropped off. Network is not our bestie today. But I'm going to read some of the comments in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for sharing. If you're joining us, we're chatting about transitioning into natural hair. We're chatting about short hair and the relationship we as naturalistas, as Africans in the natural hair community, what relationship do we have with having shorter natural hair? We've got some people who've shared their transition story. We've got Phyllis Lucian, who said, I love my hair. It's my crown and I treat it and it's healthy. Love that journey for you. Thank you so much for sharing, Phyllis. Then we've got _C.nalo, who says that I suffer from hair loss in winter, which is a true thing. It does happen in winter, given that it's drier, it's colder. So then your hair tends to struggle. It tends to be a bit of a fight to get your hair healthy, strong, growing, all of that stuff. But stick at it, sis. Check out our other content. We do address some hair retention, natural hairstyles that you can check out from our darling girlfriends. We've had natural hair, Bush Baby Amy, who shared about breakage and what causes breakage, so you can fight that. And we've had Joshua the Natural also showing us some lovely moisture retention hairstyle, which is really great for us during winter. So check those out. I'm sure you'll get some useful information regarding that. Entle says that we're also beautiful. I agree. Thank you. Yes, I received that. We have got also Entle sharing that I actually chopped my hair 3 weeks ago. Slight regret because it is freezing. Babes, yes. So, I mean, don't get confused by the wig that's out here. My hair underneath is a struggle. It's a struggle. I am this close to
We've all
cutting
been
it
there.
again. So beanies, wigs, they're your bestie, my love. We've got Siphiwo saying that 2 chops in my childhood before going fully natural with my 3rd chop. We celebrate you. We see you. We'd love to hear more of your story. Let us know. We have got Mahlaba saying mine is still 4C shrinkage, but I'm loving it. We love that you love your hair, and I think that's the most important thing, to learn your hair, to understand your hair, and to cater to your hair. Don't be out there looking at so and such who has different hair to yours. They've got their hair journey, and that's great for them, but appreciate you and see you. And then CP was saying that they've made peace with their shrinkage. And then Entle adding that I'm a huge fan of the chop. Winter's just not great timing to do that. So that's quite an interesting lesson as well. Maybe the question is also just checking when you should do the big chop in winter, in summer. When's a good time to actually transition and chop your hair? Let us know in the comments. Which season did you chop your hair?
I think honestly, there's never the perfect time. You know, whenever you're gonna do something different, just do it. Like just jump in and do it. It's never gonna feel like, okay, on this day at this time, you know, on this date, I'm gonna do it. Just do it and just deal with the
100%.
consequences later if there are any. You know.
Yes. I see you. I hear that, and I agree with that. Lumka, welcome back. Sorry, you felt
Sorry,
awkward
my
saying over
connection.
there. No, all good.
My connection.
So then now there was an interesting comment from one of our community members regarding how culturally we see and view femininity when it comes to short hair. And they had responded that, you know, culturally within society and culture and beliefs and views, that it's not as celebrated. And the narrative is slowly changing. This is Tato_Mikateko. So do you guys agree with that? Do you disagree with that sentiment? What are your thoughts regarding societally and culturally within the African context? Is short hair celebrated, or is it something that's slightly frowned upon?
I think it is frowned upon because for the most part, women cut their hair off when there's like a death. So now it's like, what are you going through? Everyone is like, why are you cutting
you
your hair?
okay?
Why are you like, you know? So I think, it's definitely like there is like a stigma then where it's like, oh, now you look like a man, or, you know, funny things like that are being said. And then they start saying that it looks unkempt because, you know, like when you have like tiny coils, obviously, okay, I don't like combing. So for the most part for me, like I'll just leave it do its own thing. So there would always be like comments. It would start from home for me, honestly, like from my mom saying stuff. And then obviously then people outside then commenting like, oh, like, did you forget to comb your hair or things like that? So yeah, there definitely is a stigma that I noticed as well when I cut off my hair.
Okay, cool. That's very... It is true. I mean, we usually have that slight stigma, that slight thing from within our community where people comment something like, you look like a boy, you look
Yeah.
Yeah.
not yourself, if you will.
Yeah.
When you've got shorter hair. Sipe,
Yeah.
what do you think about that?
I
Is
definitely agree with that sentiment where like usually something has happened and people cut their hair. But I also think a big part of the like hair length discussion in like the natural hair community or just in the Black African community, a lot of our beauty standards are still kind of interlinked with like European beauty standards. So long hair is seen as like beautiful and healthy. Meanwhile, if you completely eliminate that, that's not always the case. And I think
yeah,
the part of the shame in the big chop and like not being seen as feminine is that Black women are still being judged according to like this more Eurocentric beauty standard that we see like on social media and all of that. So it's hard to feel that way when like everything that you're seeing and being told is making you feel otherwise. And I think a lot of the time Black women especially, that whole like strong Black woman rhetoric where like Black women are like, you're perfect, and if you're not performing at this like perfect level, you're just seen as like, are you okay, like what's wrong? And I think there's a really really big like limitation on how Black women can express themselves with like cutting their hair or having different hair, where because like if you don't fit into that certain like picture of femininity, you're not even given a chance, and then you're not as celebrated.
Yeah.
So I don't think Black women are as free to experiment with their hair and like start over again and just cut it all off, because then you're like, oh, is she okay? Or like, oh, you used to be so pretty. I think that is a big part of like the shame that kind of clouds Black women being able to just do whatever they want with their hair.
hundreds. That's a very, very good point. That just culturally, as Black women, there isn't as much freedom to play around, to do things and experiment with your hair, even if it's like things such as colors, things such as different styles, different cuts. It's seen it's actually received very negatively culturally. It tends to be received very negatively culturally. I wanted to touch, Lumka. We spoke slightly about this with Sipe. What were your community or media community's reaction when you cut your hair or when you transitioned into natural? Was it a positive reaction, a negative one?
For me, I think it went like two ways. There were positives. We obviously it was like, okay, wow, like I think around my area, like I was like the first to kind of like do it and stuff like that. But then I started noticing that men had like these weird comments that they thought were like compliments, because I think during that time they kind of linked having natural hair to kind of like being trying to be what do you say, I just English just ran away, where you're trying to like fight for power and what, but it's like I honestly cut my hair for myself.
Exactly.
I was not
Yes.
Yeah, I was not thinking of, trying to be different or anything like that. And then even like just the conversations that they would have with me, like, oh, I can tell that, you are in touch with yourself, you are an African woman. I'm
You're a
like,
child of the
I don't want to
soil.
hear that.
Yes,
I'm like,
yes.
no, like when I was cutting my hair, that was not even, sorry guys, that was not even like part of the mental conversation I was having with myself. I cut my hair for myself. All of these things that you guys are now, it's like they were putting this ideal on me, like of, oh, now you like the perfect woman. And then you'd find that like, okay, then I have the natural hair and then I have natural makeup, right? But obviously guys can't tell like the difference between natural hair. So they just like, oh my word, you're like the perfect girl. You have natural hair, no makeup. Then I'm like, excuse me, I
Like,
am
who
actually
asked your
wearing makeup.
opinion?
Yes.
Exactly.
Who
So it's
asked?
like so they would have like these, so they would have like these, just like, to me, it was honestly like stupid ideals that they were putting me on like a pedestal as like this ideal African woman. I'm like, no, honestly, I like when I rock my weaves when I want. I do everything else that you're thinking the other ladies that are not natural are doing, and you don't find all those things attractive or whatever that you're trying to say. So honestly, like it's not a compliment for me for you to be saying all of that. So yeah, I would be like some people obviously wanted to touch my hair, like, oh wow, like, because I think it was the first time for me also kind of just seeing how naturally it grows, because I've been like relaxed for since I was very much like a baby and stuff.
Yeah.
Then so it was something different, like to kind of just see like how it coils and all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, people would want to touch it, people asking me if it's like a weave or whatever. So it was like,
It's like
you
you're an
know,
experiment all of a sudden.
yeah, definitely.
Yes.
I felt like that.
So we've had a few of our community members over on Instagram who had shared some of the reactions that their families and their community had shared with them. We've got King Faye, who said most people didn't notice because I looked the same. Lol. Bless your heart. I'm glad you look the same. We have got Yoyi in Solami, saying that my neighbor was really mad. She said next time I shouldn't try it, and next time without giving me notice. So I love how you need to give permission to your neighbor before you can cut your hair. So that
Interesting.
that needs to be cut.
Natural
That
hair is
has
now a
to
group
cancel that
project,
subscription.
apparently.
So we've got
You need
very
permission.
sentiments that people have shared. From some people noticing some things were neutral, but other ones were. A lot of people also commented that people had commented that they look like boys. They don't look as feminine. They don't look as beautiful with shorter hair, and they should have reconsidered before they made that decision. So we've got a few people who've shared in the comment section. We've got Lulu Rose, who says that they're new here. Hi, Lulu. Welcome to the Kinky Roots Africa community.
Hi.
They said that I just started growing my natural hair, and trust me, I'm loving it. The combing hurts. Babes, you're combing alone, hey?
Yeah, none of
These
us
are
are
the
into
Not
combs.
combs.
knowing that part.
Yes.
But keep going, my love. T's and C's apply. We can chat about detangling and all those procedures. Keep an eye out on our social media page for more content regarding that. We've got Maslaba saying, oh gosh, I actually cut my hair last year, July, and honestly, I enjoy the journey of growing it and treating it. We love that for you, Maslaba. Thank you so much for sharing. We've got Tikelo, our girlfriend. She said that I often get the now you are a real African woman, as if my hair determined my Africanness, which is a very, very good point. There is always that thing of, are you African enough, or you are African enough because you've got a certain aesthetic, you push a certain look that, like you said, and like what was reiterated, child of the soil, you're one with the earth, you're kumbaya, you're all of these things. And meanwhile, you're out there like, child.
African queen.
So we absolutely love that. We thank you so much, guys, for joining us with this Kinky Roots conversation. Before we wrap up, we want to hear the last remarks from our lovely girlfriends who've joined us. Lumka, let us know, where can we find you, and tell us a little more about you so that we can stalk you after this.
Okay, so I'm on Instagram, Lumka_Jwara, on YouTube as well. Not as active, but yeah, I'm on YouTube. Yeah, you can stalk me there. I create like natural hair content, getting a little bit into like skincare. Yeah, so that's basically what I'm about.
Absolutely love that. And you, CP, where can we stalk you? Where can we find you, Queen?
Well, I am just a regular person on Instagram. My handle is Siphelele Mazibuko. I do fun little outfits on my stories once in a while when I have energy, but otherwise you'll see me crying about university on my Instagram. So you can find me there. Yeah, we can chat. I love a good DM. And thank you for having me on Kinky Roots.
Love that. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us. Once again, this was Kinky Roots Conversation. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us this evening. If you would like to be part of the next conversation, why don't you go join us over on Facebook at Kinky Roots Collective, where we have conversations like these. And hey, maybe next time you'll be joining us right over here on Instagram, Kinky Roots Africa. We love you guys. We'll see you next time. Have a lovely weekend further.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye. Bye.